你好，我在这里，我要那个注册手支付，可以吗？Yes。哎，你好，今天我要试一下这个技术，对手支付，对，你可以帮我注册吗？Look at these guys. I want to pay with my. 他们不知道中国非常发展，我要让他们看。我怎么办？
你手机先拿出。对。
这英文懂吗？
看不太懂。
我怎么办？在微信吗？
你先把手放这里，它才会跳出来。
这个吗？
不是，先把你手掌对着。
手掌这个吗？
请保持手，请露出掌心。
好吗？
对，
微信扫一扫确认
OK，
开
然
通。
后扫这个。好，现在可以吗？
可以了。
So guys, I'm gonna get something in the shop. Now if I forget my phone, if I forget maybe my bank card, I can actually scan with my palm. Guys, can you tell me, is this the sign of the end time? It's a good question. 这个有没有小一点的？这个是最小的嘛？OK. So now I just got myself the collar. So let's see if the palm payment is gonna work. I just hope that WeChat has money. Oh my god. Okay. Yes.
可以算。
可以吗？
手掌放松。
稍微紧一点。刷掌支付成功。
Look at that.
优惠后金额1.0。
Guys, did you see that? The payment was successful. Jesus. I cannot believe this. Okay, 谢谢兄弟。Oh my god. 我太开心。When I saw it online, I thought it was fake, man. But this is actually happening in real time in China. What do you think about that technology? Is there any other country that do have this already? I'm not so sure. If there is any other country that already have this technology, if it's your country, you better type in the comment section. I need to know.
Shalom. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Ba'asham Raka Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, and salutations to all you sincere Akim. And this is your brother Abawan back again with another video through the spirits and power of Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Ba'asham Raka Kwadash. All praises and glory is due. And we are right back at it again with another video, watching for the things that are to come upon the earth. And in this case, as you can see clearly, the MoTB. Okay, and this is, once again another gradualism towards the MoTB. Alright, so in the clip before this one, you saw the dude, do his little palm payment thing, which is something that has been out for a while. You have different methods of, and basically what Esau calls it is, and I believe it's called contactless payment or so. Let me see if I can find that. Let me just Google it real quick. Contactless payment. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, right? Contactless payment, and this is it right here. So contactless payment is a method of making transactions where a payment instrument like a card or phone, right, or in this case the palm of your hand, right, or your veins, your fingerprints, or really any other method that does not involve the actual exchange of cash, okay, is brought close to a payment terminal without physical contact, enabling quick and convenient payments. This technology utilizes RFID or NFC technology, allowing waves to communicate with the payment reader for transaction completion, right? And even though these various methods of contactless payment uses RFID/NFC technology, which of course we have already told you that the mark of the beast incorporates this technology into its own system, right? But they are not the actual MoTB. So the chip in your phone, or the chip in your card, or the various methods of contactless payment you have all over the earth, these are not the MoTB technology quite yet, okay? But the MoTB technology we're talking about is the implantable RFID microchip, right? The one that you can inject into your right hand, or the brain, I've forgotten how they call it, or basically the brain chip. Okay, those are what, or rather that is what the MoTB is. But all these contactless payment is just a form of gradualism to, eventually, slowly bring you into the acceptance of the MoTB, because that's basically the method in which Esau uses in order to push his wicked agenda, right? Gradualism, rather than doing everything swiftly and speedily, and bringing in whatever wicked agenda, whatever wicked, and what's what I'm looking for right now, right? Imagination or enterprise this devil has, right? He comes in slowly, first and foremost, slowly bringing in and slowly easing you into and slowly desensitizing you, to the idea of the MOTB, the idea of, this RFID implantable technology. And that's how, or basically this is how the gradualism begins, right? Even all the way in China, you have, contactless payment, specifically being able to pay by scanning your hand, right? And other parts of the world have this exact same technology as well. And I've always mentioned this before. In India, you have this form of, the RF using your phone to pay, right? Just scan your phone on the or just scan your phone on the receiver, or the receiver, and you pay, right? Or you can scan, or basically just connect two phones together by just bringing them close together, and you can transfer money that way. And I think you can also do the same thing in America. Babylon the Great, that's that NFC, right? Near frequency communication technology. All right, so that's basically what is preparing the people of this kingdom, right? The people of this world for the MOTB. Now, key aspects of contactless payments: no physical contact. The user doesn't need to swipe or insert their card into a reader. Speed and convenience. Transactions are typically completed quickly and easily, right? One of the miracles of the beast and the promise of the beast is convenience in this kingdom. Security. Contactless payments are secure, often employing encryption and other security methods. Ubiquity. Contactless payments are becoming increasingly common, with more merchants and institutions supporting them. Alright. And let's not forget that, we are still in the time of, this MOTB being pushed throughout the four corners of the earth, and we know exactly how it will be pushed, right? Eventually, of course, mandated. So basically, everybody on the earth has to get a C chip. It has to be, C chipped up, which is the express desire of Esau Edom. All right. So now I want to get a quick precept. So just quickly look for that. Oh, this isn't the correct precept. So this is the book of Job 20. I'll start from verse. Hold on. Yeah, Job 20, verse 22. In the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Right, and this is basically, a position that Esau is in right now, because it's looking like, oh, Esau is about to succeed in his goal to basically not only chip the whole earth, but also to control the whole earth, right? And you see how Bible prophecy is moving forward all over the earth, and all this chaos, right? All these unrest that's going on, and the judgment of the most high Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and basically the world being in the state that is in right now. All right, now all these things are causing Esau Edom to escalate, right, to constantly push his plans forward in order to bring them to fruition. And like I said, man, it will come a time where it will look like, these devils are succeeding, that Esau Edom is, making his goal for a new world order to be a success, and there is no way to stop him. In fact, it already looks that way right now, right? Because you see the situation that is going on the earth, where basically these devils can pull a sign up and nobody will be able to stop them. Look at what's going on with the LA riots. With the LA riots, where hey, people are looking at this situation and thinking that this is obviously right. It's obviously a setup, okay? It's obviously something that is being controlled by, well, you could say the elites of Esau Edom, right? Of course, it's always the elites of Esau Edom, something that is being controlled, where yet nobody can seem to, stop it, man. And it's eventually going to be one of these things that Esau uses as an excuse to bring in martial law in America or Babylon the Great, right? Since you see Trump sending in the National Guard, right, sending in the Marines as well, and I think that they have actually got in there, I think 160 or so Marines. That's just showing you that that's just showing you the times that we're in, man. That's pretty soon, man. Yeah, pretty soon, Jacob's trouble will kick off and things will start, escalating through the spirit, right? So yeah, this is the book of Revelation 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time, right? And Esau, it's actually a combination of things, right? Because Esau 100% knows that his time is short, but these devils are so proud, right? They believe that they can, have more time, or they believe that they can find a way to create more time for themselves, or rather they believe that if they succeed in their endeavor, right, if they manage to put a sea heap on the whole earth, or they manage to bring in the new world order, that they'll be able to resist prophecy, right, and resist the return, the coming of our Lord Yahushua. Basically, they are thinking that they can change prophecy and change the ultimate fate that they will fall into, which is of course them going into slavery, right? Which of course that it will not be the case, right? Because this is going back to the book of Job I just read, that the Most High Yahweh Shai will rain upon him judgment, right, while he is eating. So while these devils are in their kingdom, in their heaven, believing that their enterprise has made a success, right, that they have finally succeeded in bringing in that NWO, right, that is when our Lord Yahweh Shai, the scripture says, let's get that precept, right? So this is now the book of Job 5, verse 12. He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. Right, so that's exactly what will come to Esau Edom, okay? And these devils will not be able to complete their enterprise, because first and foremost, they will not be able to put that sea heap on the elect, right? The implantable sea heap on the elect, and of course, they will ultimately be destroyed, and their kingdom will be destroyed, and they will be put into slavery by our Lord Yahushua. All right. But this is what is coming upon the earth. When you see these little videos where people are advertising these forms of contactless payments, right, or these convenient new ways of payment, or look, I got a brain implant and it's doing wonders for me. I'm able to browse the internet without even using my phone, right? Or I got this implantable RFID chip and I'm able to use my security keys and open locks without actually using a key or anything like that. Just put my hand on the lock and it opens the lock. Oh, it's so secure, and so on and so forth, right? These are all the different signs that is coming from the heavens, right, from the Most High Yahweh Shai, to show you the exact time that we are in right now. And this is what time that we're in. This is what things are looking like. This is the time that we're in, where all these things are happening on the earth, okay? So you have So you have the implantable RFID chip, which is the MoTB, already being pushed in different parts of the world where people are already heat up at this time. Then you have this gradualism, right? Or this process where, you know, basically you have what looks like that technology being implemented all throughout the different parts of the world. Okay, we are seeing more and more people are going more and more digital. People are using more and more these digital forms of payment, which will eventually blend into and be integrated into the RFID, implantable RFID MOTB technology, right? Which is what you're seeing happening right now, with companies like Apple, right, creating their, or rather, syncing up their devices with this brain, brain implant company, right? And I did a video on that in the past as well, because that is the time that we're in, right? The next major prophecy is the MOTB. So that's what Esau Edom is preparing for right now. And look at it right here, right? So yeah, Apple is going to use, and I forgot the name of the company. So, but basically the idea is that, yeah, Apple is going to start using this same brain implant technology, right? This brain implant technology, which is basically your MOTB, right? After all, it's not written. Now let's go and get that precept in the book of Revelations. So that's Revelations 13, all right? And I'm just going to get I'm just going to get the main points, right? I'm probably going to close it out here. Right, Revelation 13, verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Right. And it says in the right hand, which is dextrose, right? Let's get that. And their forehead, metapon. All right, let's get that. And you have to bear with me, network is always slow here in Nigeria. Right, so right hand, yeah, it is dexios, okay, not dextrose. Right, so the right hand is dexios, and it reads, the right hand, metaphor, a place of honor or authority. Right, so right, the right hand, dexios, right, but of course it doesn't just mean that, oh, the MOTB can only go in the right hand, but it just shows that, wherever your dominant hand is, that is where the CHIP is going to most likely be. All right, and next word here is metal pawn, which is forehead, the space between the eyes, the forehead. So that's basically where, and of course that doesn't mean that every single brain implant chip you have will have to be in your forehead, right? Because that's where the technology is going. It's an implantable technology, right? That's why you have the charagma, which is the delivery system. But of course it's not going to always go into right in your forehead, but rather just in your right hand and in your head, basically. And that's how this new MOTB technology will work. And even it's time for Jake to get up. Okay, it's time for Jake to seeing the times that it is as it is written. Let's get that precept right. As it is written that it is high time to awake out of sleep. Right, let's get that. So this is the book of Romans 13, verse 11, and that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. Right, so it's time to wake up out of sleep and realize what the MOTB actually is, and realize how close we are to it being implemented. Not listening to these other camps that they're talking about some it's June, eat no microchip. Listening to these other camps that are making all kinds of jokes and memes about immediate coming prophecy. right? Telling you that the MoTB is the image of Cesare Borgia and sleeping with white women and so on and so forth, right? Rather than what it actually is. And look, man, if a camp in this modern 2025, right, isn't telling you that the MoTB is the implantable RFID microchip, it's time for you to find another camp. All right, so with that, I'll end the video right there. Once again, all praises, honor and glory unto the Most High. Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Hashem, Raka Kwadash, Wa Abad Babal, Shalom. And through the Spirit of you, Akia and you are quite edified. Shalom.